Hey guys, Eddie Wilson here with the Think Realty podcast. Thanks so much for being a part of the show, for listening, for viewing, for being a part, always sharing and giving us great feedback. We've got a great guest today here in just a second. But before I jump in, I want to say a quick thank you to our podcast sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Real Property Management. Working with the right property management company can put more money in your pocket, not less. Real Property Management provides a higher standard of property management to make sure you're maximizing the return on your investments. Experience the real difference with Real Property Management. Visit realpropertymgt.com. That's realpropertymgt.com. So ironically, our guest today is also our sponsor. So Mike, thanks so much for being a part. Mike is with Real Property Management. Appreciate you being on the show today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here, Eddie. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys have been our sponsor for the podcast, I think, for a year now or more. And I think I've got that, that hook there. Just like I probably could memorize it and, just spit it out anytime. So
You said it great. I need to get you to teach a few of our new owners to say it so eloquently.
very good. Well, super excited to have you on the show. It's my opinion. I have, I'm a third generation real estate investor. I've got over 4,000 doors personally, but I'll tell you that my portfolio based on its location, it's a make or break based on my property manager and the property management team that I have in various places make all the difference in the world. And I know you guys believe the same, that really the success of your real estate portfolio is oftentimes tied to the management itself.
Absolutely. We're very fortunate to be in multiple markets where we can help investors, whether they're accidental investors or long-term investors like yourself, see the optics of what the asset's really doing. That's been a real big focus of ours the past couple of years.
Sure. So with real property, you guys are in how many states? How many properties are you managing? I know you guys have just been blowing up over the past few
We're
years.
right at close to 81,000 properties,
Wow.
about 465 locations. So pretty much pick a spot on the map, and hopefully we get someone there. If not, we're certainly looking to put someone there and help them deliver the service.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Oftentimes you'll talk about the power of the four pillars of real estate investing. Do you mind just kind of breaking that down? Again, a lot of our listeners already have rental properties. They've got three, four, five, but a lot of them still, carry a W-2 job, but they're just looking at this asset class as someplace to put their money. So if you don't mind, kind of step into that and try to help some of them today.
Great topic, one that I strongly believe in. We've really have been underserving the industry for many years, just as a whole, just as property managers. We often get caught up talking about cash flow, and that's the most common ground I think common investors, common property managers end up at. That would be one of the four pillars, but often, as you know, cash flow could be negative, and it could still be a great investment, and that's hard for a lot of people to see sometimes. So we've started really articulating that all four pillars. We came up with a proprietary platform that we use to really show the optics of that. First being cash flow, second being appreciation. Most markets you're seeing about 3 to 7%, maybe getting double digits historically, not just one time in the 1 year view of it. And then also debt reduction. So as we place a resident into the resident over a period of time, that investor is able to free up some debt and do other things with it. And then the fourth is tax benefit. That other unspoken word that never really gets shared with the property manager. Like most of us, you grab a bunch of receipts, you put them in a folder, you hand them the CPA, and you hope for the best.
Mhm.
But we're really starting to pull that out per property to show the tax benefits of owning that property over time.
Yeah.
Certainly changes the conversations completely when you get away from just cash flow.
Sure. And there's a lot of markets out there. We're headed to Phoenix for our Think Realty show in March. And Phoenix, historically, it's not been a great cash flow market, but the appreciation over the past 10 or 15 years has been crazy. I mean, you're seeing the doubling of values of homes in the last 10 years, which is amazing, And so I think to your point, you have to kind of take into consideration all four of those components, or else you miss the true value of investing in real estate.
Yeah, and appreciation really when you add that on top of tax benefit, on top of even taking away negative cash flow and then debt reduction. One of the examples I use a lot is a typical house bought even today's interest rate at around that 320 mark, normal single family home in a lot of markets. That house would easily show a negative 10 to 15,000 cash flow in a lot of markets. and many may eject from moving forward with it. But when we roll up all four pillars, it's often we see that landing at about 25,000 plus per year.
Mhm.
So just completely different conversation. I feel like we're helping new people get into the investment game who have always been short-sighted. Shame on us for not having the way to articulate all four pillars and being stuck in that same lane with them versus showing, optically, here's the four pillars. Let's make some decisions based on the full picture, not just a single arm of that.
Right. Yeah, that's really good. You had mentioned a proprietary system. Is that the wealth optimizer portfolio that you
It
have?
is.
Is that
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
and
thanks
kind of
for asking about it. Super, super proud of it. We put a lot of work into it. Our first software launch, we've always utilized great vendors that are experts in that field, but felt like there's a void in it. We've got a great group of franchise owners who have been a big part of helping us understand what's important to them and their owners, how to communicate. So that's exclusive for our clients. Our franchise owners use it daily to help show prospective clients what the future may look like. But we're now able to track that portfolio of investments and look at it just like you would the stock market. If you're looking at an E-Trade account or a 401k account to log in, see the graphs, see the numbers, and make projections on what the next 5 to 10 years may look like.
That's great. Um, so how did you, just to step back a little bit, how did you get involved in real estate? I mean, did you kind of always have this path, or what took you towards this place?
Great question. So I've been in real estate now about 18 years. Back in 2006, quit a great corporate job, bought a business, looked at everything from a gas station to a go-kart track to property management. Property management really called to me for a lot of reasons. One, I loved that I didn't have to buy a bunch of assets and have go-karts or vending machines and other stuff. You could buy, just rent a nice lease a building, manage properties for others. Really became a passion of mine. I had a property management company. We managed about 300 doors, had some vacation rentals, added a sales division and construction division. Found neighborly about fast forward about 4 years ago. I've been with real property management and just really aligned with everything I was building and thinking about and able to make a bigger impact with more owners and more people across the world with it.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And so, as kind of pulled in with this group, are you seeing a lot of aggregation of other property management firms, like kind of rolling into bigger ones because of the support and all the things that you guys do provide?
Yeah, it's really mixed. I think it's a lot like other industries right now. The speed of business is so fast, and if you're not keeping up with it, if you're not talking about AI at least daily, if you're not evolving into some of the new systems that we can give owners to help them articulate value, and like our Wealth Optimizer platform and other things in the market, it's just hard to keep up. So I do see some of those who haven't had the mindset or the willingness to keep up that are looking to get out of the property management business, like other industries. And certainly those are looking to grow acquisitions, a great way to do that right now.
Mhm.
We do focus on that. I work with their owners on discovering acquisitions, making sure it makes sense and aligns with their core properties and their core vision of their property. Not all acquisitions make sense to move forward on.
Right. Very good. What type of, let's get deeper into just real property management. What type of properties will you manage? You said you're kind of in every state. Do you do short term? Is it primarily SFR? Is it typically, 4 doors or less? What is typically your sweet spot?
Yeah, so I'd say our ideal, if we were to inspect any market within the U.S., we'd pull out and see an owner that's managing, 400 doors. Those are typically going to be single family homes, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath with a garage, varying by market, of course. All those would have 12-month lease, maybe some that are a little bit extended out. That's our core market. We do have several owners that are very successful in short-term rentals. We've got a good handful of owners, more than a handful, that are extremely successful in major multifamily. We've got up in South Dakota, I think Josh is managing around 5,000 properties. Many of those are major multifamily properties. He's got over 110 employees. So some that have really scaled the business model to fit what their goals are. And then others who have kept it, maybe what our more mainstream business model has been traditionally.
Very good. Awesome. So if someone is essentially self-managing or they're not happy with their current property manager, how do they get a hold of you? How do they find out how they get kind of in your ecosystem?
Yeah, thanks so much. That's really probably the easiest way is to go to wealthoptimizer.com. That one will show you one of the points of differences that that we have, and we've talked about that a little bit today. So that's probably a great entry point.
Mhm.
On there is a great way to just type in a zip code, find your closest market to you, and we can begin engaging from that standpoint. But uh, all markets have the same systems and same standards. That's one thing we really pride ourselves in is having an investor like yourself that has multiple properties in multiple states to be able to have a very similar experience, log into a platform, look at your entire portfolio, and make decisions on how to expand that.
In that wealth optimizer platform, you put in all of your properties and then you can kind of see how they're, hitting all of those four pillars.
Yeah, what's super cool though, one step even taken away from that is all you have to do is log in.
Hmm.
If you're a client of ours, all of your properties automatically get pulled in, regardless of the state, regardless of which RPM office you're working with. So you've
Hmm.
got one dashboard that you can look at appreciation for your entire portfolio, or you can dial down to a single unit, and you can certainly log in and put performance for any about 8 minutes. You can build out what it would look like to invest in a new rental property anywhere USA. So
That's great. What a great
very
tool.
similar to what you'd expect with a stock market dashboard, looking to
Sure.
buy, sell, looking to expand and track over time,
Yeah. Just tied to hard assets and real estate. That's great.
and automatically fed. So there's not a big lift from an owner or investor to begin to plug stuff in with that.
Yeah. That's awesome. Very good. Sounds like you guys have done a really great job. I look forward to, I'm putting that on my notes to go check out too, because I have not seen it yet, but that looks awesome. Sounds
Yeah, let's
awesome.
get together. Be glad to show you a demo sometime, Eddie. I
For
appreciate
sure.
you having
For
interest
sure.
in it.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
fast
thank
world right now, so it's fun to see where everyone's going in this industry and beyond, just to keep up and make sure that we're giving clients what they really deserve.
Sure. Last question, tied more to the kind of economics space we're in right now. Obviously we've had just an election cycle we just went through, so we saw some maybe hesitation in the market. Seems like some things are starting to break kind of post-election. Obviously, we saw interest rates drop a little bit in Q4. What's just your general consensus of real estate, the housing market, where we're headed? I mean, are you getting a good sense of where we're going?
To say a good sense, it always makes me think of historically, 18 years that I look back, I've been through hurricanes, BP oil spill, times that seemed, when you look at the moment, that seemed very, uh, you know, knee shattering to go, okay, what do we do next?
Right.
I certainly feel like emotionally we're out of those times, based on the past, maybe 2 or 3 years that we've came out another side of it. We're still seeing lumber prices high, appreciation has led us towards higher values.
Mm.
Last time I looked, it's about 30% more economically efficient for a resident to rent versus buy. So
Mm.
we're still in that time where although buildings going up, it's still interest rates where they are. It still makes sense for a lot of people to rent right now. Still seeing a lot of owners that are moving. So we've all been able to work globally and remotely. So I think that's still continue to take place on where do you want to live, and being able to make those decisions sometimes allows investors to invest anywhere they want to and renters to rent anywhere they want to, which has been really interesting to see that change in our life that we have.
Sure, for sure. What are some of the hot markets you're seeing right now? Because you guys are in 400 plus markets, is there markets that stand out, as far as with the ones that you guys are involved in?
Yeah, every market's so unique. It's some of the smaller rural areas that maybe wouldn't be on the radar that are fantastic places to invest right now, even at a 6% interest rate, because you see a lot of people moving there, moving away from some of the bigger cities still. But then you always have markets like Texas and Phoenix and Florida is still hot. You got some insurance obstacles there, but it's still, I think, everyone's still moving to those areas that historically have had strong economies, strong hiring. But it's a different time. Those you see those that maybe want to get away from Michigan right now, just strictly due to the weather, that can be permanently located in a southern area.
Sure.
It's been fun to see. I look forward. I think the next 3 to 5 years, some of those hot markets will still be hot, but I
Mhm.
think we'll see a few cities that are added to the list that maybe we haven't heard of before being hot for real estate. Those are the ones that seem more interesting to look at.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the support as always for Think Realty, and appreciate all that you guys do for real estate investors, making their life a little bit more seamless and helping them with their portfolios. I appreciate you guys.
Likewise, Eddie, I appreciate what you're doing for the industry and just helping people have an awareness of the reality of investing in real estate. So appreciate
Yeah.
your time as well.
Thanks, Mike. Have a great day.
Likewise, take care.
one more quick thank you to the podcast sponsor, which is Real Property Management. Working with the right property management company can put more money in your pocket, not less. Real Property Management provides a higher standard of property management to make sure you're maximizing the return on your investments. You can experience the real difference with Real Property Management. Visit Real Property MGT. That's realpropertymgt.com. And then one last invitation. If you haven't already made plans to be a part of our Think Realty Conference and Expo coming to Phoenix, Arizona, March 27th, that's going to be a great show, probably the best show that we'll put on all year. And I really want you to just put it on your calendar now. If you put it on your calendar now, then maybe you won't let everything else crowd it out. And we'd love to see you there. It's a great time to go to Phoenix. If you're already in Phoenix, we definitely want to see you there. And then for all of you that are potentially coming, you can actually go to thinkrealty.com/Phoenix and use the code podcast. Use the code podcast in there. It will give you a buy one, get one free so that you can buy one and bring a guest with you. Bring a spouse, a significant other, a business partner. Real estate is a team sport and it's best done with a team. So bring someone with you to the show and we will see you in Phoenix in March. If you haven't already picked up the latest Think Realty magazine, pick it up on the shelves of Barnes & Noble or go to thinkrealty.com and have it sent right to your doorstep like I do so you don't miss a beat with all the great information that we put out there. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. We'll see you in Phoenix very, very soon. Make plans to be there, and we'll see you there or on the next podcast.